Messy, messy brookie. Right. I haven't actually reacted to this. I read the first page and yeah, right, let's read it and dissect. I've been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Am I filming? Yes, I was filming. I've been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. I don't want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. How old are you? He ain't that young. He's pushing 30, surely. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. Oh, it's been messy, it's been messy. The performative social media posts, the family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into. Recently, I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people, to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. Oh, it be your own people. It be the one you birthed. That be your downfall sometimes. It's sad. My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mum cancelled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Okay, firstly, first world problems. No one cares about her dress. So, I mean, trying to paint the billionaire daughter, Nicola, as this, like, oh my god, her dress, this like the end of the world. Like you ain't gonna win us over with that one. Okay. We need more solid evil shit. Despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress weeks before our big day. My parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. That's weird. Why do they want the rights to his name? Is it so they can maybe brand stuff with all their kids' names and make money off it and he can't make money off his own name? That's weird. But I mean, the Beckham name is the Beckham name because of David. But at the same time, that's his name. He doesn't have to give his name up. And what a weird thing of them to ask. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. So that is the reason, apparently, for the argument. So they wanted him to sell them his name before he got married, which is really interesting. Really, really interesting because Victoria and David Beckham have amassed hundreds of millions of pounds fortune. So why are they worried about little Brooklyn's name? I mean, who the fuck gives a shit about Brooklyn Beckham? Anyway, my holdout affected the payday and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mum went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny Sandra and Nicola's nonny at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. All right, she probably just said you're evil in a jokey way. I'm sure Victoria wasn't like absolutely fuming that she was on a table there with the rest of his family and not at the main table because they put the grandparents there. I don't know. I think that's a bit far fetched. But then these people do live in Delulu land. Maybe that did really piss her off. I don't know. I mean, maybe there was some type of moment there for him to put it in this bloody statement. But I mean, who cares? What else is going on? The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. So he's very, very much saying that David and Victoria have a huge hand in the stories that come out about them in the press, which, to be fair, they're very, very powerful, especially in the UK press. So it makes sense. I mean, being a celebrity sounds exhausting, especially when you've got all that money. I know I keep bringing it back to money, but it's true. That's where it is. I just think to myself, if I was like this much rich, I'd be on a boat somewhere with a cocktail. Like, who has time to try and plant stories in the press and do all of this? And it sounds like their life revolves around it, but they are the Beckhams, so their lives do revolve around it. Anyway, let's keep going. because this is kind of juicy. Both privately and publicly, that was sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media. Because I remember his little brother said something like, he blocked us. Before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. So who do we believe? His little brother, Cruz, said that he blocked the family and they were confused why. He's saying he was suddenly blocked by everyone. I don't know. I don't know who to believe. All right. Yeah, I can't comment. I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks he just done it. Brooklyn blocked them, but then he's gone out of his way to add in his statement now that no, they blocked me, and maybe they did follow their parents because they are playing happy families over there on the Instagrams and that. They're all very close family. So maybe they blocked him. My mum hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance, to a romantic song. See, shit like that, that's not going to make me feel bad for you, but let's keep reading. In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage where in the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife. But instead, my mum was waiting to dance with me instead. Oh no, Brooklyn, your mum wanted to dance with you instead of your wife. Where's your GoFundMe? Let me help you. Just be strong. Anyway, let's keep going. Dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. Oh my God. There's no coming back from this shit. Right. Where was I? Because that has just thrown me. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt more comfortable or humiliated in my entire life. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day. That brings us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. Oh, look, mums are supposed to be embarrassing just because she's Victoria Beckham. Maybe she done those little shimmy in them little stiff white girl moves she does. It was probably a bit of this and a bit of that. I doubt she fucking twerked against. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, my wife has been consistently disrespected by my family, no matter how hard we've tried to come together as one. My mum has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. Vicky, relax. She said, I don't like his new girlfriend, so I'm going to start bringing his exes around. See, that's believable. Because I feel like if I was a parent, I'd be a bit of a bastard and probably do that. I need to cut that out. Despite this, we still travelled to London for my dad's birthday and were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel room trying to plan quality time with him. He refused all of our attempts unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras at every corner. When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. It was a slap in the face later when my family travelled to LA. They refused to see me at all. So David wasn't fucking with Nicola either. He said, yeah, no, come to my birthday, but fuck that hoe. My family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Brand Beckham. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo op, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations. All right, Brooklyn, don't lose me there with our professional obligations. You're professional at being a nepo baby. You're professional at being a white rich kid. You're all right. You're a very, 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 very small percentage of absolutely loaded, minted, privileged people. So let's not act like, you're swamped with work, Brooklyn. Anyway, family photo op, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations, okay. We've gone out of our way for years to show up and support at every fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mum's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mum refused. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I've been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose, and I have found peace and relief. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. Do you know what? his wife, this Nicola girl, right? She comes from a billionaire family, a lot more wealthy than the Beckham family. Okay. So if she decides tomorrow she doesn't want this relationship anymore and she divorces him and moves on, and his parents don't want nothing to do with him, who's going to pay your bills, Brooklyn? Who's going to pay for them expensive cars? And I'm sure that mansion that you live in, who's going to pay for it? Because no one's paying you for photography. No one's paying you as a private chef, Brooklyn. How are you going to pay your bills? So, I'm worried for him because now he's fucked, really. Because, like I said, what does he sell that people buy? Absolutely nothing. What skill does he possess? Nothing. And you know what? I don't blame him. Like, I was giving him a hard time before in my previous videos. But now looking at it from his perspective, he obviously thinks he's in the right and they only care about media, which is true. I mean, clearly David and Victoria are absolute fucking narcissists. Of course they are, you know. But I kind of feel bad for him now because I'm like, what life experience does he have? You know, like real life experience, you know, like being on the streets. He doesn't know nothing about any of that. And you know what? I blame the parents. You made him feel like he can just cut you the fuck off and then say all of this shit on the internet, including mum. That is like insinuating something incestuous. Like, that is insane to me. I don't know if they're going to come back from this anytime soon. Let's just hope the wife does not leave him because Brooklyn has no other income source. So let's hope he's made the right decision. I don't know how this is going to work out, but fuck me. This is insane. Let me know your opinions below. I'll respond to everyone. I want to know what you think. Make sure you do. All right, bye.